Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Catherine Helm. Welcome to Cupid's Broken Bow. I am a psychologist where I see individuals and couples. Becca, who's with me today, is going to ask me all about some of the stories from Reddit, and then we're going to talk about it. So listen in.
All right, you ready?
Okay, what's our first one?
The first story is coming from AITAH. It is 23 hours old, and the title is, Am I the asshole for telling my neighbor she should check her husband and not me?
Oh,
She's looking for advice.
okay. We have advice.
Okay, so she says, I'm deep cleaning my house when my neighbor shows up at my doorstep. She introduces herself, which is fine since she's new to the neighborhood, but then she drops a bombshell. She says, I make her feel uncomfortable. I'm taking her
Already,
back.
if it's me already, I'm like,
Yeah.
why the hell are you at my house? But okay.
Yeah,
You came to my house to tell me that I make you feel uncomfortable when I'm in my house. Already we got a problem. Okay.
So she says, I'm taken aback since we've never spoken before, and I've lived here for 13 years with no issues.
Mm-hmm.
When I ask what I'm doing to make her uncomfortable, she says, it's the way I dress while cleaning.
Well, let me just interrupt you. Why are you asking her why you make her feel uncomfortable when you're in your own house? But okay, all right. Maybe she's curious.
Yeah, I don't know. She says, her husband has been watching me from their window. I look down at my outfit. I'm wearing a sports bra and shorts, and ask if this is what she's referring to. She confirms it. I'm confused and tell her maybe she should be concerned about her husband's behavior,
I mean,
and that I'm not bothering anyone in my own home.
fair. Uh-huh.
I suggest to her that she should check her husband because that's weird behavior. She gets mad and wants to cause a scene. Am I the asshole? Does anyone else find this situation weird? I should add that I do have curtains blocking most of my windows, but I like to leave a small gap for natural light to come through, which I think is how her husband has been seeing me.
Okay, there's everything wrong with this. There's everything wrong with this. One, that this woman thought, was so entitled to go to her house, right?
Yeah.
Two, that we can make the assumption she hasn't told her husband, knock it off, you're being creepy, right?
Yeah.
Three, that the woman opens her door to this woman and they have a conversation about it, right? There's everything wrong with this.
It's creepy.
It is, well, it's creepy and it's entitled, and the woman whose house it is owes them nothing.
Right. Well, yeah, who is this lady? Who are you? What a way to make an introduction first.
The husband, first of all, is he doing this in front of his wife?
Probably, since it makes her uncomfortable.
And the husband's behavior doesn't make her uncomfortable?
That's weird.
What comments are there?
The top comment says, not the asshole. Thank you for letting me know your husband is a peeping Tom pervert. It seems like the neighborhood is going downhill with him moving in.
Well, and by the way, how many husbands are going to tell their wives, hey, I've been peeping at the neighbor lady?
Right.
Unless
She probably is watching him do it.
she probably is. Or maybe he got caught. I don't know.
Yeah.
It also says a lot about her relationship with her husband,
Right.
right?
Well, it's like this lady's just minding her own business cleaning her house.
Right.
Like, it's not like she had it wouldn't make a difference, and you shouldn't be looking at other people's houses, but it's not like she had the windows open and was standing in front of the windows half dressed. I don't know.
Well, and why is it her job to make somebody else feel uncomfortable in her house?
Right, it's not. Yeah.
Okay, what else we have comment wise?
Somebody said confronting the neighbor is easier than confronting her husband, who would probably react negatively.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else said, I feel like her husband got caught looking and had to tell her how weird it was so he wouldn't seem like a creep.
How weird the lady was in her own house? Yeah. Uh-huh. There's some communication issues in their relationship.
Yeah.
And some super creepy, shady behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. She's absolutely not the asshole.
right. I don't think, no.
Not in any way.
In no world is she the asshole.
No.
Honestly, I think the other lady is the asshole.
Clearly. Like I said, that's a very entitled response.
Deal with your husband.
Correct.
She's very right. Check your
She
husband.
is. Check your husband. Yeah. But
Because-
she's not going to be able to check her husband.
No.
Because if he's doing that in the first place, where she found out about it, no, that's,
I wonder why they had to move.
yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, what else we have?
The next story is coming from r/advice. It's 8 hours old.
Okay.
It's titled, "My 4-year marriage is at a weird point."
Okay.
She says, "I'm 22 female and my husband 25 male. We got married really young. He was 21 and I was 19. We had to fight our families to end up together. We grew up together and it was good in the beginning. It's been 4 years. We have had a couple of conversations where we have talked about how we don't feel connected anymore. We feel like roommates and good friends in a way.
Mm.
We don't have romance. We do still love each other.
Yeah.
We both also think we've lost ourselves in this marriage. I'm in a complete existential crisis and don't know who I am or what I want."
Well, and can I say, I know there's more to read. In some ways, that's a really good insight,
Yeah.
right? So
So,
our society has extended adulthood outward.
Yes.
Like, we go back a couple generations, people were getting married at 19. Now it's more rare,
right.
right? You might date somebody seriously, but you're typically not going to get married till your middle to late 20s.
Right.
So she's sort of experiencing the existential crisis, the identity issues that sometimes people experience in their 40s
Right.
after being with somebody for like 20 years.
Yep.
It's just they've been together throughout their developmental years.
Right.
Yeah.
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 She goes on to say, "We're still giving this time to see if we can figure it out. Do you think a marriage is recoverable at this point? What can we do to actually make it better?"
So do I think it's recoverable? Well, I have thoughts. What are your thoughts?
I think you guys just gotta talk to each other a little bit more and see
Yeah.
what you're both like lacking. Because you could be lacking something and not know how to get it from the other person and vice versa.
Yeah. But I think some of it is about, and maybe he's experiencing the same thing.
Right.
That's what it sounds
Yeah.
like, right? But she's trying to figure out who she is.
Right.
Right. You can do that in a marriage if there's room for both of you to do that. Right. So, I don't think that they necessarily have to separate to do that, but they, as you said, have to have a really honest conversation about where they are, what they're lacking, and how to figure themselves out. So marriages stagnate when there's no growth.
Right.
This sounds like an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, and they can grow together.
Yeah. But do you hear regret?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like she regrets being married young, and maybe her family and his family, they had to fight them. Maybe that's why.
Yep.
Like the families were like, "You're too young," maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
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 Or, I don't know. I wish she had a little bit more detail.
I want to underscore how normal this is, though.
Yeah.
Right? I think it happens at different points in our lives where we have to figure out who we are again and again and again. Like it's not just you figure it out and then that's it.
That's who you are for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Things happen and you change.
Yep. So like parenthood or, graduating, you have to milestones, you always have to losing people in your life. You have to think through who you are. So at least she has enough insight to understand what's going on with her. Yeah.
Yeah. So what else do you think they need to do to make it better?
Well, so one, talk about it, right? And two, talk about what they're missing.
Right.
What is it, what is it that she needs to learn about herself? Therapy, couples therapy. As a couples therapist, I would say couples therapy could really be helpful to help them figure out who they are individually and then who they are as a couple.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about the romance part? What do you think about that?
So it's a little concerning because they're so young, right? So you often see, relationships are stages and marriages in stages too. There's like the hot and heavy stage, but that doesn't last.
Right.
Right. It is a little concerning that it's happening this early in their relationship, but they've also been together for a long time.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to mean they're roommates. It just means they have to do other things to bring the passion back. And recognize that passion doesn't look the same as it did when you were first together. Right. So.
Yeah, it says that they grew up together. So, like,
Right.
they've probably known each other for, like, almost their whole lives.
Right.
So,
Right.
That's-
So in some ways they're having the same existential crisis that older couples have. They're just having it as young people.
yeah.
Right. It could mean, right? It doesn't have to mean that it's over, but it could mean that maybe you guys have outgrown each other too.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, as I feel like it would be hard to like come to terms with that,
Right.
especially when you've like known that person for so long and it like you've grown up with them, so everything in your life you've done with them.
Right.
Like-
Well, maybe that's why the romance has died too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you've done everything together and you've known each other forever.
Well, and like she probably doesn't feel like an individual because everything she's ever done
Yep.
has been with this other person.
Fair. Which is why people have to have their own stuff. Like you have to have your own things that you're interested in. There's the together stuff, and then there's the stuff as individual that you need. So are you going out with your own individual friends? Do you have your own individual interests? Do you need to do something for yourself? Go to school or take up a new hobby? These are all things that can help you figure out who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. That's great advice.
Yeah.
You want to get into some of the comments?
Yeah. What are some of the comments?
The top comment says, "Please don't have a child. It won't help. Couples counseling may. You're talking to each other about this, but a professional can help you ask the right questions and may be able to suggest some things to help."
That is kind of an interesting out of the ballpark. Don't have a kid.
Well, I feel like a lot of people like run into like problems, like especially younger people, and they're like, well, maybe if we get a dog, it'll fix it, or maybe we have a baby, it'll be better.
It never does. I mean, dogs make everything better. But no, don't have a kid. But it sounded like the poster that was like their issue. Not
Don't have
don't have a child. Yeah. But no, having a kid doesn't make anything better.
It's gonna add more.
It's going to add more, stress and strain to the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other interesting comments?
This one says the fact that you're having conversations about this is very positive.
I agree.
It shows you still care about each other and you're both motivated to make it work. The thing you really have to worry about is when you don't talk to each other.
Fair.
Yeah. Everybody's suggesting couples therapy.
Yeah. Yay, couples therapy.
Yeah.
Okay. What's our next one?
The next one is a doozy.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's coming from the Two Hot Takes subreddit. It's 1 day old.
Okay.
They're looking for advice. And the title is, "My 19 female boyfriend, 23 male, has just revealed his porn addiction.
Okay.
I'm in shock."
Okay. You're in shock or she's in shock? No,
That's the title.
Okay, yeah.
It says, "I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years. We've always had a trusting relationship, sharing phones, living together, being open with each other. He's someone I truly saw as loving, respectful, and safe. But a few days ago, I noticed he wouldn't let me use his phone while we were looking at Facebook Marketplace, something we've always done together. It felt strange, and eventually he admitted that he had been watching videos of women sexualizing themselves, wearing lingerie, dancing, etc. on Facebook.
Okay.
He also told me that he regularly looks up specific women's profiles that he finds attractive. These aren't celebrities, they're just regular women, and they look nothing like me. He says it's something he's done since he was in like 6th grade. That it feels like an uncontrollable urge. He watches this kind of content daily, mostly on his lunch breaks or when I'm not home. He told me he feels ashamed and that it doesn't mean he loves me any less, but I'm having a really hard time believing that. It has completely shattered my self-esteem. I feel like I'm not enough for him, not attractive enough, not exciting enough, not desirable. I've started comparing myself to the woman he watches. I don't feel confident in my own skin anymore. I even find myself feeling disgusted with my appearance. I feel betrayed, rejected, and deeply hurt. Even though he says he loves me and wants me to be with him, I feel like I've lost my sense of safety in the relationship. I'm scared. I don't know how to rebuild my trust in him, and worse, I don't know how to rebuild the trust I once had in myself. I want to understand how to process this pain, how to rebuild my self-worth, and how to decide what healing could even look like. Whether it's something we work through together or something I need to walk away from to protect my emotional well-being."
Okay. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can hear how hurt she is.
Yeah.
And how betrayed she feels. This. And those are fair responses. Yeah. So porn use is not uncommon.
No.
But it sounds like, and I'm not diagnosing him. I never met this man, but there might be an addiction there.
Yeah.
Or at least something that he finds it hard to resist because he's doing it every day. He's doing this during his lunch hour, right? So this might be something that is kind of out of his control, which doesn't mean he bears no responsibility, but it means that this might be something that he's struggling with. Right. It's personal to her because it's personally happened to her, but she's personalizing it like something is wrong with her. Like that's why he's engaging in a porn addiction, which brings him a lot of shame.
Right.
You know, I mean, you've had experience kind of in your own education with studying addictions. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I feel like, so there's not a lot of research on like the porn and sex addiction. Like there's not a ton of stuff, like with treatment wise that I've learned about yet. But like, I think she needs to just understand that he can't really control it, and it's an impulse.
Yep.
And he probably feels like he has to do it, or something is gonna happen.
Yeah. Or it's not, no pun intended, but a release for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure. And like you can look at it like the same way of people, how they use drugs and get addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
It's the same brain response.
It is.
So that all being said, he's not doing it to hurt you.
Yeah, so I've worked with a lot of couples
Right.
where one partner was addicted to pornography. You're right. There's always a hiding behavior because it's, they're ashamed, right? There's always a lack of control or an impulse to do it, often as a stress reliever, often to get a release. But it has nothing to do with how much they love their partner or are attracted to their partner.
Right.
That's kind of not in the mix. But she's just discovering this.
Right.
This is all new to her.
Yep.
She thought she knew him. They've been together 2 years, and she discovered this about him. And of course, he's lying about it. And so it's deeply personal.
Right. And that hurts.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
Right. And she's right to feel betrayed, but it is not about her.
Right.
It's not about what she's lacking.
Right.
And so for anybody dealing with a partner who has an addiction, which is very difficult, right, it's personal to you, but it's actually not about you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go to couples therapy.
Yeah.
And he should go to individual therapy to work on his addiction if he has an addiction.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's this like healthy ways that like this can be, like there's moderation.
There is moderation. Yes. Yeah.
It sounds like it's eating into his life though. So
It does. Like on your lunch hour, depending on what your job looks like.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that can be tough for him too. That can stress him out more too.
Correct.
So
Correct. So I think it's about trying to understand both partners' perspectives.
Yeah.
Having empathy for both, and both of them kind of facing this now that he's been forced to come clean,
Right.
facing it honestly.
yeah.
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 Yeah. And what are some of the comments?
The top comment says, I hate to say this, I really do, but one of the main reasons why you're so devastated over this is your age. You're essentially still a kid, but trying to play like you're an adult. Now you're faced with an adult situation and you're emotionally unprepared for it because of your youth. This shouldn't devastate your self-esteem. Stop playing house. Go back home or live by yourself if you can. You are not emotionally equipped yet to handle this type of situation.
This is not an empathetic poster. It's sort of like, grow up, you're too young. That's not helpful. No. And how old is she again?
19.
Right. I mean, so she is young, but that's rather dismissive and invalidating. It doesn't really help her deal with what's happening or address the fact that she's right to feel hurt or betrayed.
Right.
It's kind of shitty, actually.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I don't like that, Colin.
Yeah.
Another person says, at some point it should be normalized to the point where seeing a naked or sexualized body isn't inherently sexual. The idea of men being victims of media forcing sexual content on them is unhealthy.
Okay, read the first part again. These are some real interesting comments.
I don't know who's in this subreddit. At some point, it should be normalized to the point where seeing a naked or sexualized body isn't inherently sexual. So I think they're talking about like on the internet, because you can scroll through Facebook and you see
Right.
half-naked people.
Well, okay, but pornography can still be an addictive behavior.
For sure.
So, addictive behaviors aren't going to be normalized because they interfere with everyday functioning.
Right.
They interfere with the emotional connection in couples. Okay. Okay, internet. not empathetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Empathetic. And this comment section is not it.
Does anyone have anything positive to say?
Not really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nothing there.
Yeah.
So it can be worked out.
It can. Yeah.
Right. But usually it takes facing it honestly, couples counseling, communicating about it, and his desire to work on his addictive behavior.
Right.
And in addiction, there's denial.
Right.
But there's also a lot of shame. So I have empathy for him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's really important for her to, yes, be heard, but also not to add more shame and guilt to it.
Yes.
So that he can
Yeah.
get the help if he needs it.
And to recognize her own kind of feelings of
Right.
betrayal. But
Right.
personalizing it and not feel like they don't look anything like me.
Right.
Because their porn addiction is that person is an object. The other person is an object. There's
Right.
not an emotional attachment
Right.
to that.
I don't want them to look like you.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. But it's not about their relationship, right? This is something that is about objectifying, right? Someone else as an object, which doesn't make it easier, I think, but it makes you understand like it really doesn't have anything to do with your
Right. It's
relationship.
external.
It's external to you. Yeah. We got one more?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
The last one is from Relationship Advice. It's 9 days old.
Okay.
It's titled, He, 41 male, wants me, 30 female, to get my tubes tied because we said one and done, but things changed after his affair.
Oh,
How do I explain that?
huh. So he's 41?
41. Yep.
And she's 30.
Yep.
30 is young to get your tubes tied. It's always interesting to kind of go get your tubes tied. He could also have a vasectomy,
Yeah.
which is actually an easier procedure
Yep.
than her going to get her tubes tied, which is major.
Right.
Okay. But is there more information?
Yes, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Uh-oh.
We have a son who just turned 3.
Okay.
For most of his baby years, I was in survival mode. I agreed we'd be one and done when I was pregnant. He didn't want to be an old dad, and I struggled a lot with the pregnancy. He also grew up as an only child. Then, when our son was about 6 months old, my husband confessed he had an affair that lasted almost 5 months. He said he was sorry and that he was struggling a lot and found being a dad claustrophobic. He was very remorseful and had confessed on his own accord. What followed was a year I can barely remember. We had a trial separation, did couples therapy, and individual therapy. The entire experience robbed me of the newborn stage. I remember planning our son's first birthday party with one tab open for balloon garlands and the other researching divorce lawyers.
Wow.
We had a nanny for our son, and at times it felt like she was the second parent. And now, my sister just had a baby a year ago, a little girl. Our son is obsessed.
So she has baby fever.
Yes.
Okay.
The son talks about her all the time. He begs to FaceTime with her. We visit every couple months, even though she's 3 states away. And every time we leave, he cries and asks when he'll see the baby again and if he will have his own baby sister. I think he'd be a good older brother, and I've always wanted a daughter. I love our son and wouldn't trade him for anything, but I have been having doubts about whether one and done is for me. My difficult pregnancy is one of many things holding me back, though. I told my husband this, and he's adamant that we shouldn't, and I said I should get my tubes tied because I previously agreed, and I should mostly after the trauma of my pregnancy. I'm not saying a baby would fix anything, but
Well, because it won't.
right. But we can afford to have another baby. With our son, we had a nanny that I still keep in touch with so we would have help. I don't want to have a second for all the wrong reasons, but I don't want to relive what I missed out on.
That's interesting, isn't it? There's a lot happening. What are your thoughts before I give my thoughts?
It sounds like, I don't even know. Because it sounds like she wants another baby.
She does.
For sure.
He does not.
At all.
Can I just say, never have a baby with somebody who doesn't want to have a baby. So it sounds like he has, this is going to sound terrible, but buyer's remorse from the first child.
Yep.
You had a son. He cheated on you while you were pregnant, right? Or at least while your son was a newborn, right? If I'm getting my math right.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to convince him to have another child. It doesn't sound like the affair has been addressed, right? But why would you, like, it's okay to want to have another baby. Why do you want to have another baby with somebody who has, right, he wants you to get your tubes tied, who's cheated on you, who you, for your own admission, is saying he's not an active parent.
Right.
He was claustrophobic, right?
Yeah. It's really hard to like want to put yourself in that situation.
Right.
I can't even imagine wanting to do, like, if I already knew all of those things about my partner, I don't think I'd want to do it again.
But she says it changed after the affair. What changed?
Her opinion.
Right.
Right.
But why would the affair change your opinion? To like, well, it's okay now. I wonder if this is it, Becca. I wonder if it's like, well, you cheated on me, so to make up for it, I want to have another kid.
Yeah, it could be.
That's a disaster.
Yeah.
You know, that's a disaster. If he's not an active parent with the first one.
Well, and my thing is if he's the one who does not want more than one child, he should be the one going to get his stuff fixed.
Well, he should.
I mean, why does she have to do it?
Right.
Because she wants another kid.
Right.
So if things don't work out, she can move on and have another baby if she wants to.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if things are going to work out.
Right.
Because he's pressuring her to get her tubes tied. Mm-hmm. She's pressuring him to have another baby. Mm-hmm. You know, so in couples, there's some issues that are really hard to work through. Mm-hmm. When people dig in, and having another kid or not, right? I still, like last week working with a couple where she was like, I still regret it. It's like 30 years later that we didn't have a third kid.
Oh.
Right? Like I still really wanted that. You know, they had 2 sons, she wanted a daughter. So if you do that, the stuff lingers. And it will cause a huge rift in the relationship, right? So this has the potential, in addition to his affair, that he doesn't seem to be as remorseful about. Maybe that's an assumption I'm making. This has the potential to tear them apart. Yeah. If she has another kid, it is going to end this marriage.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I wonder if that wouldn't be bad, though.
Well, I think that's well said.
Yeah.
What are the posters saying?
Top comment is, don't have another child with a man who doesn't want one. He'll end up resenting you and the baby.
True. Fair.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Somebody else says, why would you want to bring another child into an unstable situation? A child is a life, not just some toy that you and your son can have.
Yeah.
You don't know that you're guaranteed a daughter.
Fair.
And why is your husband not getting a vasectomy?
Yeah, all the things that we said.
Yeah. So
yeah. So she can want another baby. Yeah. But to have another baby with who you're married to is probably a huge mistake.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And if she gets quote unquote accidentally pregnant, it will definitely either end the marriage or he just won't be involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was barely involved with the first one.
Yeah. And it causes all kinds of resentment. Now, if she gets her tubes tied and gives into the pressure, she's going to resent the hell out of him.
Right. Because she doesn't want to.
Correct. So
because that takes away any possibility.
So he either use condoms, use birth control, or he should get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling if she continues to want another baby, she's going to end up being resentful anyway. Right. This is not a good situation.
No.
No.
Well, and I wonder if he doesn't want to get a vasectomy because he's like kind of the one that is cheating. And
could be.
Maybe it's like a control thing for him.
Maybe.
Because, yeah.
But if he wants to continue to cheat, I mean, if he wants to continue to cheat, then maybe a vasectomy is a good idea.
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other comments? Okay.
Look at ones.
Yeah.
They all kind of cover the same thing.
Yeah. So advice, don't have another baby with somebody who's not helping you take care of the first one. All right. Well, I think that wraps up another episode of Cupid's Broken Bow. So join us for the next episode.
Thanks for watching.